Usually for my videos, I will give some fun facts or interesting anecdotes before I roll the opening song and start the video in proper. Like how the anime impacted me, or what it meant to other people or the state of the anime industry. But for this one? Nah, I only have one thing to say. I fucking love this show. Satoko is a ninja, but she isn't a very good ninja. Satoko is pretty cute, but also a bit of an airhead. However, she is not a good ninja. One day she agrees on her leader's plan to defect and run away from the ninja village without actually knowing what she even agreed on. And when they get to the big city, she immediately gets dumped by the others who make her run for it after having fought off their fellow ninjas. Splitting up gives them better odds after all. Except for Satoko, because she's not a very good ninja. And after being found on death's door in an alleyway by the assassin Konoha, and subsequently almost getting assassinated by a ninja if not for her interference, only because she also would get killed otherwise, the two of them hit it off and decide to live together. Really only because Satoko's only skill is using ninjutsu to turn dead objects into leaves, which includes corpses, which Konoha can use for her assassin job to hide the evidence. And just like that, their murderous and toxic slice of life story starts. 2025's Ninja and Assassin Under One Roof, or Ninkoro for short, is a wonderfully dark comedy about a very toxic relationship. Satoko is through the roof that someone cares for her and takes her in, not fully realizing at first that Konoha takes advantage of her, as she only cares for her cooking, the fact that she keeps the apartment clean and tidy, and most importantly, her leave ninjutsu, so she can hide her target's bodies without much of a hassle. A particularly handy skill for Konoha, since she wants to climb the ladder of the assassin rankings, because the higher she gets, the more money she can earn with it. Satoko is a naive little bundle of energy, happy she finally left the ninja village and gets to be free in the real world, as the time in the ninja village was far from fun. Every day she got subjected to harsh training, and, because she isn't a very good ninja, it resulted in her messing up and the other ninjas laughing at her. And because of this, she also has no clue how the real world works. Bank accounts? Never heard from them. Mobile phones? No clue where they are. The value of money? Non-existent. She merely spends thousands of yen on a gacha game. Even the very definition of doing something she enjoys is foreign to her, thanks to how her entire life was up until this point. She takes a liking to Konoha fast, but not realizing she's getting taken advantage of, and, while she likes Konoha, is a textbook definition of a toxic relationship. A relationship where she only gets used for her skills, and even abused because she doesn't know any better, and is way too trustworthy of Konoha's intentions. Konoha might as well be considered a kudere, though I'm pretty sure she isn't one, because she rarely shows any emotion at all. She only smiles when she's eating good food, or if Satoko surprises her with a gift. Other than that, she's cold and calculated with everything she does, even a tiny bit sadistic at times, a complete opposite of the energetic airhead that Satoko is. She lives on her own doing assassin work, to amass money for a yet unspecified goal, something she doesn't even share with Satoko at all either. But despite all the money she makes, she lives rather frugally, only having the bare necessities in her apartment. And she doesn't even hesitate to kill civilians if asked to do so, including the father of her classmate, and perhaps a new friend she just made, if she's not just keeping up appearances and hiding her somewhere. She's all the qualities that a ninja should have, and none of the heart that Satoko possesses. But over the course of the year that the two live together, she slowly becomes more human, warming up to Satoko, even caring for her and seeing her more than just a tool to use. Their daily life consists of some of the following situations. Satoko trying to find a job, not because she really needs to, but because she wants to see how it is. Only to end up working for the Yakuza to dispose of bodies. Konoha befriending new people, only for having to assassinate their parents or their new friend themselves. Trying to survive in a haunted house, haunted by the ghosts of killed assassins, which then parody a plot for world famous horror movies. Or Satoko trying to increase her appeal for Konoha, trying to learn new things to cook, or ending up with massive memories after being fondled by a crazed female version of Dr. Octopus. Yeah, you heard that correctly. All while being hunted down by ninjas from the village who are trying to kill Satoko, because she, unknowingly, got roped into fleeing the village. And, since this wasn't her first time, she got turned into the mastermind behind the ninjas fleeing the village, even though that's not true. Of course, it's not all enemies they run into along the way, they also end up making some unlikely friends and allies. Some of those friends being the leader of the runaway ninjas Kuro and fellow assassin Marin, Kuro, aka a leader, as Satoko calls her, because she has the brain capacity of an amoeba when it comes to recognizing people, ran away from the ninja village so she could be together with her girlfriend. Oh my, how progressive. However, she can't blend into society at all and becomes a hopeless gambling addict and wastes her time and her girlfriend's money on going to the pachinko parlor every day. Kuro is also unfortunate enough that when she just hangs out with Satoko, she ends up in the crosshairs of the ninja assassins too and... Oh wait, the one who blew up their house was just another ninja she was flirting with, who got jealous and angry for being left behind. It's no wonder that with such a role model that Satoko's situation remains hopeless for the majority of the story. Meanwhile, Konoha gets stalked by an envious fellow assassin who is also quite low in the rankings, Marin, an assassin who loves to invent all kinds of wacky shit. Flying jetpacks, the earlier mentioned breast enhancer that results in disastrous consequences, and a fake Satoko robot, Roboco. And while quite obviously a robot, Konoha takes a liking to it, simply because it follows orders and doesn't talk back. Did I mention that this relationship is toxic as all hell? And down the line Marin gets kidnapped by a big sister and reverted back into a little kid. But don't worry about it too much, they'll be fine, no, I'm sure. Sadly, this also results in Konoha being turned into a baby temporarily, even though she is darn cute. Unfortunately, this only lasts until the end of the episode, much to Satoko's disappointment. On paper, the story setup is deceptively easy. Konoha and Satoko do some daily shenanigans, and by the end of the episode, at least one ninja tries to kill Satoko, only to end up dead mere seconds later, instantly killed by Konoha. You think that the joke might get old fast, but it always manages to get you to laugh at the abruptness of the situation. Not to mention all the other weird situations they end up getting into. And it's not all doom and gloom with dark humor for how the characters die left and right. There are plenty of cute moments between Satoko and Konoha, as the two of them grow closer to each other as time goes on. Even if all of the furniture gets turned into leaves by accident and assassins put their apartment on fire forcing them to live in a haunted house, it is a very well balanced mix of dark humor and cute slice of life moments. And by the end of the show, the two of them get along great and can depend on each other. Usually I'm not the one to put much weight into the animation aspect of the show alone, but don't get me wrong, I like seeing good animation, it's just not the end all be all. But it would be remiss to not mention and praise the absolutely amazing job Studio Shaft has done with the show. The manga which I have here is honestly nothing too special to look at. Not to be critical of the artist's art style, but it's all rather simple. Once again, nothing wrong with that. But Studio Shaft elevates it to a higher level, keeping the animation fluid and adding their own trademark Shaft flourishes to it. From the in-between images, the impossible Shaft necktails to real-life food pictures. Even in just the discussions between Konoha and Satoko just sitting in their apartment, you can feel their influence oozing from the screen and how the scenes are portrayed. And an amazing retro anime intro at the start of episode 1 depicting the ninjas escape from the village, completely original material that is not in the manga. Bocchi the Rock often gets praised for being an amazing adaptation with how the anime expanded on the source material to make it stand on its own, and I feel much of the same applies here. The manga is pretty good, but this anime would not have been as great as it is if it weren't for the director and the staff involved in this project. This is an anime adaptation with so much love and care put into it that many mangaka can only hope for their work receiving. Because oh boy, haven't seen some manga getting done dirty with anime adaptations in the last few years. Add to that a great opening and a catchy ending that won't leave your head for days after hearing it, and you got what I would consider to be one of the best, if not the best anime from 2025. So the next time you're looking for a short comedy anime, I wholeheartedly recommend you give Ninkoro a shot. I'll guarantee that you'll like your time with it. This ended up being a bit of a shorter video than usual, but I hope it was still enjoyable. You might also notice it has been 2 months later than it should have been, but I've given up on stressing over trying to get a video out every month, in order to appease an algorithm that ends up burying you regardless. So videos are going to be a bit more far and in between for at least the time being. I guess it also doesn't help that I had a bit of a writer's block with this one for some reason or another. Anyway, you aren't here for all that. This was my name is Sora, hoping you check out Ninkoro one day, and I'll see you next time.